Welcome to episode 12 of the Brandy and Rena show. Tonight we are talking about tarot, and I am so excited for this topic. It's going to be so good. How are you feeling, Brandy?
I'm feeling great. Episode 12, just
well, and it would be more, but we keep taking weeks off, which sometimes you got to do that. I mean, it's totally like,
me and Rena both have a lot of Taurus aspects in our chart, so we are all about self-care.
Yeah, and last week it was all my fault because I was like, yeah, not today. So
not all your fault, because I was kind of, yeah, not today. Because when Rena texted me and said, yeah, not today, I was like, yeah, not today. So I kind of reinforced it.
Right. So everybody understands, right?
That's all right. We had time to prepare for the show.
That's right. So I have a couple of fun facts to share on tarot. And I didn't dig any further into these because my source was Britannica Online. So I figured that was pretty solid, right? If there was a whole bunch to share, a source like that would have had more to share, right? But it was literally just a few paragraphs, a couple of pictures, but it was interesting.
I'm excited to hear. As a tarot reader, I feel like I should know more about this, but
I know. I feel like everyone should know more about it, and I would really like to do some more digging. But like I said, I'll have to spend a little more time doing that because, again, I used Encyclopedia Britannica. So I figure, sitting down with those big books, they would have tons and tons of information on it. And I just didn't find tons and tons of information. So first up, did you know that tarot has roots that trace all the way back to Italy in the 1430s? It was played as a game, although there was no description on the game, like a card game. And this is actually when they added the fifth suit, which we know as the major arcana.
Nice.
It was called the triumphs back then. And they also added the fool at that time. So they had your basic four suits in this game: hearts, cups, which we interpret as cups, clubs, which would be your wands. We have your spades, which are your swords, and then we have diamonds, which are your pentacles in the card decks. It wasn't until about 1780 in France that tarot was actually used for fortune-telling purposes. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, there was a little bit of information, but I kind of picked and chose my favorite pieces of what was in there. But yeah, I found that really interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know, Brandy, you probably know this, but I thought it would also be fun to share with our viewers this piece of information. And this is actually from Angela Jeffries, who was mine and Brandy's tarot teacher.
We love her.
We love Angela. And this is a good piece of information to share. So a tarot reading is tuning into the energy of the client to gain insight into a situation. The cards act as windows to the energy or as pieces of a puzzle for the reader to tune into. By connecting to your higher self, your guides, and the guides of your client, the tarot reader is able to use their intuition to see, sense, feel, know, or hear messages or meanings of the cards. The reading will show you the energy as it is. The reading will show you the energy as it is at the time of the reading and the direction it is currently heading. The reading, I'm sorry.
That is me all week, by the way.
I'm terrible. I've been bad since Mercury retrograde, so I have no excuse.
It's like it didn't go away. I was looking at the astrology yesterday. What am I missing?
It's terrible. The reading might show what's needed to be done for a particular outcome and will show the outcome if the client is willing to do the work that is recommended. The reading may also offer information to the karmic and or past life connections. Warnings may be given to prevent a situation from happening. Blech. It all depends on what information comes through. The client always has free will to accept and take action on the advice offered in the reading. So, yeah.
Oh, I just zoned in on something you said, that I can't repeat it verbatim, but the client has to be basically open to receive, right?
Right. And you and I have both had clients who, they'll come and they want a certain focus or a piece of information. It's not always what you want to hear. However, it is the message shared by the guides, by the energy of the situation. So when that happens, I highly recommend having an open mind to the information that's coming through. Maybe take some time to sit with it, think about it, weigh out your options, and
let it absorb.
Exactly. And you might be able to make some sense of the message that's coming through for you. So,
yeah. And probably 99% of my clients have heard me say, park it in the back of your mind. When something's not sitting well, I always say, park it in the back of your mind, chew on it, let it absorb. See what happens in a couple days, because most of the time it's like aha moments come. So
I'm a pretty literal tarot reader. So that's just who I am as a person. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to feed you full of shit. I just tell you how I see it. And from there, you can ask deeper questions. You can, ask different questions, whatever it is you want to do with that information. So I can pull 85 cards for you. And yeah, exactly. There you go. Sometimes it's 85 because Brandy uses 2 sometimes.
Where's the extra? No, I do. Okay. So on my tarot readings, we get the tarot deck, which, by the way, the star fell out, so I'm putting it on top there.
Ooh, that makes sense.
I use a regular deck of cards too. So I have whatever 78 plus 52 is, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't do math on this show, so that doesn't count.
I don't do math on the spot here. It takes, too much calculating there. But yeah, so yeah. You could pull 85 cards and where were you going with that, Rena?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm just saying, you might only get a yes or no answer, you might get a yes or no answer with a little bit of information tied into it. So you have to just be open to receive what it is you get. Like I said, we can always look further into the specifics of what's going on. I say this because I have a lot of clients who just like to come to me and they're like, I don't know, draw a card, which I'm guilty of. That's what I do. So I'll lay out my spread, and like sometimes I gotta dig because you got these people that come to you and for whatever reason they don't want to be open to the situation. This happened to me a few weeks ago. This girl, she came and she had this incredible reading. Her energy was totally open. I read her like a book, and like even I was like, holy smokes, I can't believe what is being shared with me here. Like we had really specific, incredible information coming through. And then she brought her mom to see me. I was at the crystal shop doing tarot readings that day. But she had brought her mom to see me a couple hours later, and her mom, like you could tell she was being drugged by her arm into this tarot reading. Like, not that she wasn't open to receive it. I mean, she was there, but she didn't know what questions to ask, which a lot of people don't. That's fine. But you could tell there was this like blockage of like even if you tell me the truth, I'm not sure I want to hear it.
Resistant.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is where I have to do a little bit of digging. Like I might see challenges that are coming forward for you. So I'll say, okay, you've had some challenges lately. Do you want to talk to me about those? And then as they're opening up a little bit, I'll draw more cards to see how these information pieces are unfolding for them. So that's
such a good point. And you, yeah, sometimes it's not the person's idea to come to the reading. It's someone else saying, hey, you got to do this, or gift certificates. Don't buy someone a gift certificate unless you know they're into this stuff. I had a lady a couple years ago. It was a 30-minute reading. 20 minutes in, she's like, can I get off the phone? I'm like, is everything okay? She's like, yes, I did this for fun. It was, my friend wanted me to do it. I didn't know you were going to bring up real stuff. I didn't know the cards could really do that. I appreciated her honesty and understood. I was like, oh, she was not prepared for cards she thought it was a game,
Right. Same kind of thing was happening with this lady who had come. It was just like, there was just some pieces and it was like, again, I'm not going to feed you full of crap. I call it how I see it. And sometimes it's very real. And not that it was anything bad.
Right.
It was all like really interesting information about like, some self-care stuff, some things that were happening in her life, and maybe how to redirect her focus to take better care of herself during this time of transition and empty nesting and things like that. So, yeah, I think people are always really surprised by what comes through, and not always in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way. Yeah. So it's just sometimes it's a surprise, like you said, like, oh, these cards really do know me, and
right.
Yeah. It's
right.
a common thing. No, it's great. I even have on my website somewhere, I think it's under the facts, that like general readings bring general messages. So it's okay to come to a tarot reading for a general reading, but you're going to get the most details, the most specific reading if you come with a question. It helps us as readers zone in. It helps the cards know exactly what details you need. So, general readings are okay, but man, get some questions ready. That's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And when I say I'm a person that just says whatever's in the cards, Brandy is the person that reads for me. I don't typically see other people unless it's like a complete spur of the moment type of something. So she knows what's going on in my life every day. I talk to her every day. So it's a bit easier for her to pick apart those pieces where I need the insight. But I always, always, always highly recommend having some sort of a focus, career, financial things, specific goals you are working on, whatever it is. I like that. General readings bring general information. That there's no better way to say that, because that's exactly what it is.
That's what it does. And there's a reason that some people do it. Okay. Some people, not everybody.
It's a game.
It's a game. It's kind of like test the psychic. If you're really doing what this is, you'll know exactly what I'm wanting to ask. But that's not how this works. My favorite thing to say is I am not God. I don't know everything.
Right.
I don't know what color hoodie you wore yesterday.
Right.
I know how to use intuition. I'm a medium. I feel like tarot reading is a form of mediumship. I'm tuning in to whoever wants to give me the info. So that's not going to work well. I don't know everything. So don't test. Go in with your question.
We don't read minds. We read energy. That's totally what it is. And by doing something like that, you're only wasting your money. We're solid readers. Those who read are typically solid in the work that they do. Like Brandy and I, we took a tarot class. We didn't sit down and memorize these cards, and that's not even how we read. So there was a process of learning how to tap into this energy in the most efficient and safe for us way, because again, it's energy. You want to make sure you're connecting with the highest vibration possible. And then we practiced for a while. We've done our time. I didn't even offer professional readings for a few years after I learned how to read.
Yep.
So
same here. Same. So yeah, we have a system. The best way you can get the most out of your reading, have your questions. Now, there are some who are like, well, I have some people come like, I just need encouragement. Like, that kind of generality is okay if you're, just wanting some general encouragement. Yep.
I would believe in that. And again, yeah, absolutely. It's still, I would still call that a piece of focus because you're looking for positivity in life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, Brandy, who would you say gets tarot readings? Is there any type of person?
I'm trying to think how to answer this. My clients range from
Right, yeah. I was trying to figure out how to ask it because I wanted it to be open to let everybody know that lots of people get tarot readings.
Lots of people. You get them for business decisions. So, I consult for businesses sometimes. You get for people who are in crisis. Like, what's happening? Why is this happening? When's it going to stop? I don't even know how. Everybody, people that religious people get tarot readings. It's secretive. They don't tell people about it, but they get tarot readings. Anyone in need of guidance some just need answers to their questions. Like, oh, I just applied for this job. I'm excited. I can't wait till next week to know if I have a chance. Do I have a chance now? I don't know, Rena. Who does get tarot readings?
Rena gets tarot readings. No. Lots of people, from your millionaires, billionaires, to, people that look like they have all their shit together. I mean, everybody gets tarot readings. I have people from all walks of life. I've done tarot readings for young teenagers who were looking for encouragement on their path with self-identity pieces of them coming together, to very elderly people as well. So the range is wide from, I'd say, what is it, 8 and up for the Ouija board? No, that's a terrible comparison.
How old do you have to be to communicate with spirits?
That was terrible. No, I would say from like your young teenager who, has a parent encouraging them, kind of thing. Maybe providing some sort of financial support to pay for the tarot reading is a good idea.
I've had parents get like gift certificates for their teenagers. I always get their permission. Have an adult give permission. But so teenagers, military.
Yep.
I have a good amount of military clients.
Yep.
Ex rock star wives.
And I love that. That's super, super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
In Austin. Yeah. It's so a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So they're really open to everybody. Again, it's looking at the energy of a situation at the present time of the reading. I don't know if I said that right. I think I might have.
Yeah.
How often do you think people get tarot readings, or is there a recommended time?
Usually, like, as things come up, like I have repeat clients, like sometimes it's about career, sometimes it's about relationship stuff. So as things now, anyone who wants just general readings or non-specific, I don't recommend they come unless they actually have specific questions, because otherwise, but come as often as you need, as long as there is a legit need.
Yeah.
a question, like I call it a burning question, something you gotta just know.
I want to take that burning piece out, because sometimes that burning question is the same question. And
okay, I see. Yeah.
Again, testing the psychic.
Let me clarify. A question that you just really need guidance on, that you can't sleep, but it's a legit question.
Yeah.
A legit need. Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, we're talking this testing the psychic piece of information, and we don't want to see you every day. Not that we don't like you, but if you come to us and say, I'm trying to think of one that I've been asked several times. Oh, well, things like affairs. Are affairs okay? Yeah, like, come on, really?
There's a lot of, there's so many situations I've read for. I don't even know how to answer that, or what I should or shouldn't say.
Right, I know. So I'm not trying to be specific for anybody, but if you come to me and every day and ask me if I should wear a pink shirt, again, it's good to just have focus, and
it's good to, as a reader, I'm trying to think how to put this. I don't want to enable anyone. I don't want, we all need to be self-sufficient. So I don't want someone who, let me reword that. I want to be careful not to be constantly reading for someone just because they're afraid to make a decision. And yes. And I always tell people, I don't make decisions for you. I just tell you the pros and cons. I just tell you the likelihood of an outcome. You still need to make that decision. And, so I want to always be careful that I'm not, I just got to say it bluntly, like letting people rely on me. Yeah. Too much. God, I wish there was a nicer way to say that.
Yeah, I don't know that there needs to be a nicer way to say that. I think it's probably best said like that.
I want to help with the question. I want to help with guidance, or not me, but the cards to help for guidance or insight. Yes. I don't want you to lean on the services for everything in life. It's got to be something that you have soul searched. You need a little help. That's really the best scenario.
Definitely. So what kind of tarot readings do you have on your website, Brandy? Like, as far as if somebody came to your website and wanted to order, and I'm going to pop your website up here so everybody can see as you talk about it.
I believe I have 3 options right now. I have the 15-minute, which is 1 to 2 questions. Anyone who's seen me read, I just talk fast. Gemini mouth sets in. I'm I'm channeling and information runs. So about 2 questions. And then I have a 30-minute option. I think I even have an hour, because they're, wow. For someone who comes once a year and has a stack of questions.
Sure. For all that. Wow. Yeah, that's wow.
What about you, Rena?
Okay, so on my website, I have a 30-minute option. I have a 15-minute option. I do still have my 1 question emailed tarot reading, which you get the picture of your cards with an audio recording. I just added a birthday tarot card spread. So, when I started offering readings years ago, that was one of the pieces that I took with me from our educational piece. And I had certain clients who would come to me every year for these specific readings. And, I just thought it would be fun to offer that to everybody, because it's a great reading for, kind of your year ahead. So I just added that on this week. And then I also have the option to, if you have a fun, say, girls' night or bridal shower, something like that. I love doing the in-house tarot readings. It's super duper fun.
Those are fun.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I got.
Yeah, all sorts of options, Rena. That's really the birthday option,
Oh, that one's probably my favorite. It is.
And Rena put that up right after my birthday passed. So I have to wait till next year. Thanks a lot.
Well, you probably could get a birthday tarot reading even if it wasn't your birthday.
I might just do it anyway.
I would keep that secret.
It's Cancer season. It's not even Gemini season anymore.
I know. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite tarot deck, Rena?
What is my I took a whole bunch off of my shelf. I know I said a couple to you today, but I was like, well, I like this one, and then this one leads into this one, and so I have a few over here.
So that brings another question up that I'm just dying to ask you. So when you're doing tarot readings, do you use different decks? Like, if you want to share?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends on what I'm drawn to do at the time. So I don't even use the same deck every time. Like, I'll just go to my shelf and I'm like, this one, So
interesting.
Yeah, I use different decks all the time.
Do you know I have so many? I don't even know how many tarot decks I have. Like,
I know.
I get them as gifts. I buy them. Like, yeah. And I love them all. But when I'm doing readings, it's always the same deck. And I'm always like, I don't know why I'm so rigid with it.
Well, it's a trusty friend. There's no questions, what's going to be, interpreted. Again, Brandy and I are intuitive readers. So when you come to us and ask a question, it's what symbol's going to pop out. It's numbers on the tarot card. It's colors. I'm going to hint at that general card meaning, but that's not technically how we read. It's just things we've kind of picked up over time. We were taught to read by the symbology on the cards.
It's hard to even explain how we read. Sometimes, do you remember, when was it? Like in the 90s, they had those prints you could buy, like posters, and if you kind of like did like kind of dazed out at it, an image would pop out?
Yes.
Sometimes the cards work that way, where I'm just kind of generally looking at all these cards and something just, I feel something all of a sudden, or I see an image in my mind's eye, and it's like, sometimes it's really weird.
Yes, totally. And sometimes it's not even pictures at all. It's the literal speaking of spirit in your spiritual ears, telling you a specific message. So it is really channeled information. There's no better way to explain it. So I get it. It's kind of a trusty old friend. There's no questions on what colors are coming forward, or you're used to this symbology. So
do you know, like every week, like as much as I've seen these tarot cards, and I use the standard deck.
Yeah.
As much as I've seen them, every week there's an image that pops out that I had no idea was on one of these cards. Like, it's so weird. Like, something will just pop out and I'll be like, what? I didn't know that was on there, and it's
very cool.
I don't know.
Special messages.
It's magical.
It is. So, I'm going to start with this deck.
I like that. I don't have that one.
Oh, it's beautiful. And if you're into picking out symbology, colors, that kind of thing, this is a perfect deck for you to work with. I love it. I found this at Barnes & Noble.
I have decks from Barnes & Noble.
Totally. Heck yeah. No, I totally, working with this immediately, it was like, whoa, this is totally my jam. There's lots of pretty colors, again, symbology. There's some alchemical pieces in there. It's really an interesting deck to pick apart. Some of the cards. I'm going to stick this behind my computer, which leads into this one. This one is based off of that. Whoop, sorry.
Oh.
So if you've done my meditations, it would speak a lot to this deck and connecting with the crystalline pieces of earth and, you know, things like that. It's really, again, beautiful. It is based off of the Thoth deck. It's quite magical to work with. So
very cool. I'm going to check that one out too.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I believe this was also a Barnes & Noble find.
Barnes & Noble special.
I live in North Dakota, so we shop where we can. Gets a little quiet. And these are also based off of the Thoth deck. And there's two different versions because I've been a lover of patch tarot for since it came out. Now, a lot of people pick on the imagery of these decks when I take them to like the crystal shop and read with them. But again, it's literally all about the colors, the symbology. It's really an incredible deck. I love spirit science. So when they put out a tarot deck, I was like, heck yes. So this one was the original. And then they made a little more compact size of it. And this one is well loved. It's all tore up and taped back together.
That's a good deck then. That's like, if I came to you, I'd be like, get those cards out.
Yeah. So, okay. Priestess. Here's the High Priestess. You know, again, so this is also, I would say, based off of those first two decks. Very, very like-minded imagery. We have this deck. I actually gifted this to my son.
I like that one.
I love this deck. Again, it's all about colors, images, kind of just like those posters, really honing in and being able to go deep and pick out the symbology that sticks out. I also have my Starman Tarot. I could not not share this one.
I had it in mind to share as well because it's inspired by David Bowie. Like,
yes, and it's totally like,
and it matches my shirt today. Apparently, yes. I didn't plan on that.
Well, even cooler. Who doesn't love Bowie?
I use this one for me a lot of time. Like, I only read for clients with one deck, but I try to use other ones if I'm going to pull a card for me. And this is the one I usually go to.
Definitely.
Love Starman Tarot. And then, I'm sorry, didn't Mike cut you off?
Oh, no, I'm done. Yep.
I love the Morgan Greer. Even though I don't read with these are like some of my favorites to just sit around and look at. I love the art on these. Like,
oh, I don't know that
it's different. Like, look at the sun.
Okay. Yeah, that is really cool.
It has a bit of a retro feel, and I just love retro stuff.
Hold your box up so I can see that.
Yeah, got the Queen of Swords on the box.
Hey, that's cool. Yeah.
It's a good one. And see, you do Barnes & Noble. I do Amazon. I know.
I got Amazon decks too. I totally love them.
You get them like the next day. You know, like when I want something, I want it now.
Unless you live in North Dakota, then it's a couple days. But yeah.
And one of my favorites, which I love the story behind this one. I had this deck and I had a friend come over and he fell in love with it. And I just saw the connection with him and the cards, and it was just so strong that he had to go home with it, you know, and I wasn't really using them. I would usually not do. And I was like, that's your deck. And so I always missed it after it left. And so Rena asked me one day to recommend some tarot decks. And I said,
terrible.
You know what you should check out? Aquarian Tarot. It's like one of my favorites. And I told her a little story. I used to have it. I gave it away.
Love it.
And then Rena sends me this amazing present with the Aquarian Tarot deck in it. So
I love it.
These are like some of my fave.
Yeah, those are pretty.
Look how pretty they are. Like they're just interesting.
Yeah. Totally retro vibe.
Yeah.
Makes me think of like old cups and stuff that my mom would have, old dishes, like prints on dishes and stuff.
Yeah.
You know that. Yeah, totally vintage.
A fun story. The first deck, I was actually working as before I was doing this full time professionally. And I cut out on work to go buy it because I was at work thinking about, I really want this deck that I saw at like Barnes and Noble. And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to take my 15-minute break. And I was gone for like 40 minutes. I went to Barnes and Noble.
That's hilarious. I love it.
And then I got these from my husband who went to New Orleans on a business trip.
Nice.
Day of the Dead.
What is that?
Day of the Dead.
Oh, wow. I've never seen those.
I don't want to butcher it, but like Santa Muerte.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha.
And these are beautiful deck. The backs of the cards are even amazing, but
very cool. Oh my God. I love those.
And then I have like 20 cat decks because I'm such a cat person. You know, everybody sends me cat tarot, and I love those as well. But I didn't pull them out. But
yeah, we love them all for different reasons, for sure.
I do. And even though I may not read with them, I still love getting them. I still buy them. I still collect them. I play with them.
Oh yeah. I have a couple special decks. This deck, my mom was a huge Golden Girls fan. So when I want to talk to my mom and the noise in my mind is so busy, I pull out this deck and tell her to show me a message. So
it's like your telephone to her.
Yes, exactly. And then I have a very special Prince deck. I happen to find on Etsy that one is stashed away for very special times, just like that too. So
I have one of those too.
Song lyrics of Prince. So it's more of I would say more like an oracle deck of all things, but it's cool.
I have an oracle deck that I use for a certain spirit. And so, yeah, there are some, I like to call them telephone lines, some telephone line. And I don't show people either because they're sacred.
Yep. They're special ones for sure.
Love it.
Very cool. So my next question would be, Brandy, do you have any, I know we talked about like different types of readings and stuff and recommendations, but let's say you've never had a tarot reading before. What kind of questions should somebody bring to the table when they come to you?
Appropriate questions could be, I'm just trying to, first I like to think about topic, career, job. Am I in the right career? I've been thinking about changing decisions. I mean, card readings are amazing for decisions. You know, should I stay where I'm at or should I go? Is this still my path? These are really good questions. Sometimes people have a need to know how appreciated they are. Am I doing a good job? Do my coworkers like me? I think those are okay if it's something that you're really struggling with. And sometimes in these career settings, you don't know how you're being perceived.
Right.
Those are good questions. Relationships. One thing I get a lot is someone who maybe has new, fresh relationships. Does this person feel the same as I feel about them? What's the connection? Is this like a good connection? How long will this last? Don't ask that question unless you're ready for the answer.
Right.
I've had some ask that question and they were not ready for the answer. And I'm just a messenger. They got mad at me, but it's like.
And that can be a forever and ever over many lifetimes. And you're like, oh shit, no, I'm just kidding, guys.
And I mean, just generally, no matter what you're asking, make sure you really want to know the answer because it may not be what you want to hear. Sometimes it is. I love that's called being Santa Claus. Like you get to give them what they want. I love that, but it's not always like that.
Right. Yep. I would agree with that one. Yes, I had one like that. Not that it was like bad news or good news, but I found it super interesting. Again, this is from a couple of weeks ago at the crystal shop, and this gal had come in, and I can't remember what her focus was, but her relationship with a special somebody had come up. And I was like, wow, I mean, these cards are telling me this person is really an important piece of your life, you know, so do what you can to nurture this relationship, open communication, things like this, whatever was coming up. A few days later, and I had no idea this was the special person in her life, but he had come to me for a reading, and I was like, holy smokes, whatever relationship you are in. I mean, it was just really cool that came out. It was crazy. And then like she happened to be standing there with him, and they looked at each other, and I was like, oh, you two. Nice. It was really cool.
I love that. I had one of those one time, and it was I was using a regular deck of cards to kind of look at the timeline on this relationship, and with 2 separate readings, and they both had matched up. Like certain points were like almost exactly the same. And I was like, and then they called me afterwards. We both read with you about the same thing. You know,
oh my God.
It was so funny.
So here was the really cool piece about that relationship. Spirit had whispered into my ear that this person was a Virgo, and she was like, no, I'm dating a blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, well, but maybe there's a Virgo in my life. We'll have to look at this. You know, I was like, okay. Well, a couple days later, that same message had come through for the significant other. And I was like, so, you know, it was to ask the sun sign. And he's like, I'm a Virgo. And she was like, oh, I thought you were a, you know, and she was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. So yeah, it was really interesting.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So many cool things I've gotten to read about or read for people about. And I guess a good thing to bring up is that, you know, I think you're probably a lot like me, Rena, when you're reading, like I kind of, you know, there's no judgment in any situation you're bringing.
Right.
I'll read for all sorts of things as long as it's not illegal and as long as it's not yes, I've had to pull that before. Like, I'm sorry, I can't read this illegal. I won't do that because I don't want to be wrapped up in that. Right. I don't want to go to court. And I won't read if it's about another person. Like if you're coming about a situation, you have to be involved in it somehow. It's okay to come about a relationship and we can talk about how the other person feels in the relationship. It's not okay to say, is my ex-boyfriend with another person and what are they?
Right. No third party readings. Absolutely not. It is an invasion of privacy. It creates a whole nother level of karmic patterns in your life. It is just not worth it. So don't do it.
But you can come to a reading and I have clients who are asking about certain affairs that are going on. I don't have any judgment about that. It's
same. I have that same thing happening. I've also had the situation where is this affair good for me? Over and over and over and over and over and over. You know, like things just weren't working out. You're not leaving your partner. They're not leaving their partner. You know, it's just kind of like, okay, guys, we got to think about a different focus for your reading because.
Or sometimes that other relationship is healthy for someone. Right. Yeah, it's interesting. So no judgment, you know, I just want to put that out there. We don't judge any situation.
That's right. That's right. I've also, I don't call this a third party reading, but I've had somebody come to me with general questions where I've seen their partner was cheating on them. So that's kind of interesting how that came about too. So yeah, there all kinds of stuff. What needs to come up will come up. Mm-hmm. So just trust.
That's right. I think that's good.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Is there one last rule? I don't predict death.
Yeah, no.
Very, very rarely will I read about a death unless there's a really good reason to need to know if you're a caregiver. I don't know. That one's, you might want to message me first.
Yeah. I would completely agree with that too. I've seen it. I do share, again, I know what to share because Spirit will keep saying you need to tell this. So if it's important, I'll share it. If not, I don't.
Like I had, and this is a true situation, I had a lady say, she was older and she's like, so terrible, I even hate repeating it. She's like, when will my daughter die? Because I don't like her and I want to be happy in my life. And that I refused to read, and that actually terminated a client practitioner relationship because it was a boundary that I didn't want to cross. And, so anyways, that would be an example of an inappropriate question about death.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. It makes me upset. Makes me mad.
It's also a really shitty question.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, it is.
There's a deeper problem. So, and I'm not qualified for that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would be an example. I'm sorry to bring that up. I just want to put, like, if anyone's wondering, well, what would be,
yeah.
Saying I have an elderly mom I care for, and it's a struggle. That would be kind of okay, I think, for the most part, to look at these things. But
yeah.
That's different.
And some of that might even go into some astrological pieces, like even looking at your natal chart and kind of seeing when significant events would take place.
Yeah. Seasons of life show up astrologically. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Brandy does astrology. Here's her website again. So
thank you.
Natal chart readings, and what else do you do? Transit readings.
That's like my version of birthday readings. Like a lot of people like to get those on their birthday to say, hey, what's the next 12 months of transits? Like what kind of themes am I dealing with? Those are fun. Those are kind of fun to have lookouts for.
Okay, so every year, right around the new year, I offer year ahead spreads. Do you do that with your
year ahead?
Yeah, like a year ahead.
I probably should. That would be like the transit reading.
Sure.
And then I do have a specific card reading for a year ahead too. Spread that I can use. So if you order a tarot reading, that's always something that's available too.
Definitely.
And where can they find you, Rena? I want to see your website.
Oh yeah, it's over here. And guys,
you offer like really cool stuff. Like Rena has like the most diverse offerings that are so cool.
I know.
So amazing.
People say, so if you have to pick one piece of you that you're going to hone in on, what is it? I can't tell you that. I love everything that I do for very special reasons. I do energy work. I do tarot readings. I make metaphysical tools. We got lots of stuff on the table, and it's all a piece of me and a big piece of my heart.
All amazing. I don't know. I've so many services. I've done your planetary alignments. I've had your card readings. I have the house.
Yeah.
Housing.
Housing. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Amazing stuff.
Yeah. Brandy and I are big fans of each other.
We love each other.
I have taught online tarot reading classes. I love to do it. It takes place over 7 days. Just little exercises and pieces to do. I don't have anything on my calendar at the time, but if that is something you are interested in, please reach out and I would gladly set that up for you.
Yes, Rena is an amazing teacher. Her tarot class is like so well thought out and planned. Like you are going to learn so much.
And that's totally spirit led. Like this is like, we had to get up at 3 a.m. because I was getting woke up that we have to write certain things down and have it done this way. And if we don't, I don't know, things happen.
Taken very seriously. No, I'm being serious. Like it's like, I mean, you are the person I trust to teach people tarot. Like,
oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So you guys let Rena know if you're interested. She'll get a class set up. Listen to me. I'm like telling you what you're gonna do. She'll get a class set up.
Oh, I will. I'll answer that call. Did you bring an oracle deck before we go? We're like at 49 minutes. So if we wanna,
I forgot my oracle deck. No, but I can
You can draw a tarot card and
I'll draw a regular card from the regular playing deck so that it's
okay, a little more oracle.
a little bit more oracle-y.
I have the musical oracle. What is this one? You have this deck too.
Oh, I have that right here. That's what I'm gonna use.
Music oracles.
Oh, I have my card deck.
Oh, yes.
That worked out neat.
Hey, that's cool. Okay.
I got my card right here. I'm interested to see who we pull.
Okay.
I'm gonna have it here so you guys know it's the one I pulled before she pulls hers.
I got Dolly. Get out of town.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I had a feeling I needed to put my card up before you did yours so people would know.
I don't know, guys. I don't even think that was a card trick. I think that was a hat trick. No.
I pulled the card and had it here, and I was like, I bet you she's gonna pull Dolly as well. And we have separate cards. That's so crazy.
That is crazy.
All right, you read yours first. Read the message on that.
Okay, so there's 3 different messages on these oracle cards. They're really cool. So your attitude is the higher the heels, the closer to heaven. Okay. And then we have lifestyle. Caution will get you nowhere. And then we have the inspiration. The most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones.
And this is a Queen of Diamonds on this.
That's amazing.
Okay? So this is about when I see this in a card spread or in anyone's message, it's about being just straight, saying what you're thinking, putting it out there, speaking up. It's also a card about finances, about being able to kind of freely spend within reason, spending on yourself, these kind of things, taking self-care. All of these can come up with the Queen of Diamonds. So it's a good financial omen for any financial questions or situations that are around you. And it's also about speaking up.
Yes. And, just like Angela always taught us, like if you have a spirit animal coming to you, like say there's a certain bird or a butterfly, you should kind of look into how they live their lives and the patterns they have in their life. I would say the same thing about Dolly Parton.
I would too. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting messages around Dolly and just about how she lives her life and her attitude. And
yes, she's an amazing person.
And very generous too.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That was cool.
That was really cool.
I don't know if we could end on a better note. That was like super amazing.
I love these moments, by the way, like these synchronicity,
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, that's all that Brandy and I have this week. So make sure you stop by Brandy's website, check out her amazing services, all that she has to offer. She's even got some crystals and oils and things like that on her website that you can dive into and anoint yourself with. They're amazing. I love the Taurus oil. I use it all the time. So yes, lots of good stuff. Crystal pouches. What else do you have on there?
So far, that's it. I've been spending hours loading it all, but I got the astrological oils and the crystals on there, and they will ship fast. You order them, I'm shipping them within 1 to 2 days at the most. So
perfect.
And then go to Rena's site.
Oh, yep. So we got keys of the universe. We got tarot readings. We have energy work sessions, spiritual alchemy sessions. We have dowsing sessions. We have all that you can imagine. And if it's not on there, no, I'm just kidding, guys. But let me know if you have any questions about anything that I do, and I will gladly answer that for you. There's even free meditations on there, you guys. Under the shop tab, guided meditation sections. I have at least 9 free meditations. So don't miss out on those. They're awesome.
They're powerful. They really are. I only do Rena's meditations because I'm hyper. Rena's are amazing though. I like always look forward to them.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. Until next week, we will see you later. Bye.